So, how much money are we going to give Ukraine before Putin considers us to be actually joining them in some more meaningful way in this fight? According to Joe Biden, we're never going to stop, actually. Watch.
And as long as the assaults and atrocities continue, we're going to continue to supply military systems. It's critical this funding gets approved and approved as quickly as possible.
So, we're pumping billions of dollars into this conflict. Is it even making a difference the way that we had hoped? Joining me now to discuss, senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, Bill Roggio. Bill, good to see you.
Thanks, Buck. Always a pleasure.
So the Associated Press reports the assistance package, which is now heading to Congress for consideration, would be more than twice as large as the initial $13.6 billion of defense and economic aid for Ukraine and Western allies that Congress enacted last month and is now almost already exhausted. $33 billion, a lot of money. Is this the right move? What's it going to get us?
It is a lot of money. We have to keep in mind we probably spend about, $20-30 billion a year on Afghan security forces. And in the end, we saw what that got us. People were very quick to leave Afghanistan, to abandon Afghanistan because of the costs. That war drug out for 20 years. And we're very quick to get into a war that looks to be an extended conflict. This is a war that's going to require, if the Ukrainians are going to fend off the Russians, and I'm not sure they're able to do that with the weapons and the money that they're getting, this could take months, this could take years, the way things are developing. And we also run the risk, the longer this conflict is extended, the more weapons and more advanced weaponry we supply to the Ukrainians, the more the Russians can view us as an active participant in this war. And, look, I worry about the risk of coming into direct conflict with Russia, not because Russia can beat us on the battlefield. I'm certain after what we witnessed in Ukraine that they can. It's that Russia is a nuclear armed state with 10 times more nuclear weapons than us. And when two superpowers go head to head, all bets are off. And those are the risks. This is what I fear is not really being discussed in Washington today.
Now, explain how you think that could play out. I mean, at some point, and Putin has been saying very bellicose things. He straight up said, right, that he will use nukes if somebody thinks they're going to get into Ukraine, meaning obviously us and NATO, get into Ukraine. He'll go to the absolute mat on this. But short of a full-scale military intervention, do you think there is a point at which Putin's calculation dramatically changes? I mean, is it training? Is it just provision of even bigger, more advanced military systems to the Ukrainians? How do you think that is assessed?
Yeah, it's very difficult to understand what Putin's red lines are when it comes to this military aid. So here's a scenario to think of. What happens if Putin decides to strike assembly points for weapons being transitioned into Ukraine that are inside of Poland? Then you have an attack on a NATO member, and there's a possible escalation. These are the things that can happen. This is what I really worry about. Not understanding, not knowing what Putin's red lines. That's very dangerous. And I don't hear, and I'm not aware of any conversations happening inside of Washington, inside of policymaker circles. Everyone is keen to defeat the Russians. I would love for the Russians to lose, but there could be unintended consequences to that. And we should at least be discussing them and gaming them out so as not to get into an armed conflict with Russia over Ukraine.
Don't miss American Scandal, Hunter Biden. A new First TV exclusive special hosted by Buck Sexton. Available right now only on the First TV app.